Ready when you are then.
All right. So, first one I want to look at is PAR, PARR, and this is sort of typical of energy where I'm bringing up something that has you know run pretty hard already, kind of on a little bit of a pause, and then I see it going much higher. So I think I actually would our timing of the hot list here coincides with their earnings. So I think you can play the run up to earnings possibly, but what I'm really sort of looking for is a dip under 23 and then a move to 25, 26, possibly higher. But that's sort of the early November outlook. Dip to the mid 22s or to two, and then a bounce up. So kind of a I don't know what you chart pattern, but that's what I see on it.
I got if something holds right here, it'll be 22.7, 22.5, 19 on the shorter times. I had to go to the 10 year to get that though. So I mean that's what we're hitting right here. So that 22.5 is would be your what needs to kind of build support up here for any kind of upper move. 19 is super strong. That would be the load thy boat level. I like it because it's energy,
They
100%.
are into diesel refineries, so that also has a little bit of some extra attention with our whole diesel shortage and all that.
Yeah, I'd definitely get ready for
So,
that to be
yeah,
more common thing. Looking at, I've started looking for more in the diesel because that totally that's where we're hurting at. That is your supply chain issue, in my opinion.
yeah,
Is
absolutely. Yeah, that's
shortages.
the big one, and it affects shipping of all kinds. So
You have
yeah, big.
26 leaps.
Yeah, I've got December
Okay.
C, and then November, kind of walking it up
Okay.
24, 20.
Yeah, if you get the low 22s, I'm taking this. I mean, especially with earnings, I'll probably just wait, monitor this chart till earnings. We just talked about, right? Try to get something on the low.
Yeah. And by the way, if learning kind of the character energy tends not to give like big and after hours move as tech does in
Yeah,
either direction.
yeah,
But it gives you a better intraday move afterwards. So you see that with like Devon and saw it with MO and Exxon and a bunch of those. So you don't get the lotto payoff, but react like they beat nicely. They kind of react how you would expect, where it's going to even if it flushes that open a bit. So um, you can get some nice stable moves out of it.
I like it. I like it.
All right, next up for me is SWN.
Oh, you cheater.
So this one, um, little bit ended flat on Friday, but I like the trajectory overall in on it. So I've got 11, 18, 7C, 7.5, and then 12, 16, 8C, uh, puts at 6.5 are pretty bullish as well. So yeah, just like the setup overall. Much all calls, the call ratio 0.14, really bullish there. So should be pretty smooth. Safe entries down here. I don't know in terms of dip. I don't really see it going to six. You might catch like 625 or something like that, or 630.
Sure.
But I'm not really that concerned going a month out on options.
Yeah, from the share side, you just get under 650, especially if you have the sold puts at 650. These guys just 4x their sales on earnings. The profit wasn't up. They stayed in line on the profit, but they went from 1.6 billion to 4.5 billion in sales. So that was
Yeah,
and that was Friday. That was Friday that report got released.
and if you look at what March to June, it could do that again on kind of a next leg up. So that's definitely possible. 10 in the leaps is still out there, so
Yeah, the
this could
chart
be like a big. This could be a big winner
the chart
if
has
you
8 in it
scale out
easily.
and just keep there. Yeah,
And the chart has $8 in it easily. So no, I love this one. This is will probably be on the my notes as well. Oh wait, it already is. Mother
yeah,
cheater.
yeah. And it's a perfect price point for that shares options combo where anything to me that is in the $6 to like $11 range,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
those are good for like I go like 80-20 shares options. So yeah, definitely worth doing. And even if you mostly trade shares, just watch list some options contracts. It's just good to know how they move, and you might find that bam, if I put $50 in a leap on this, it ended up going to 150 just based on my price targets for the shares. So it's and depends on the stock, depends on the demand for the options. Some are going to move better than others, but definitely good experience on that. And the longer expirations, you don't really have the stress of it. It's not going to drop 80% on you in a day or something. So
And keep it close
yeah,
to
worth doing.
keep it close in the money too. Don't go way out of the money.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially if you're just watching. Keep it as like just go one price out of the money.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Spend the extra $15.
Well, you're not even spending, you're just watching it. So
Yeah. Absolutely. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
so I've that's just that's I
Uh,
usually buy the option like when I'm not comfortable entering shares yet. I think there might be more of a dip, so I buy the option to watch it, but to like if I don't want to miss the move, so I'll have the option if the move happens. But what kills that contract and loses my 20-40 bucks every single goddamn time is that I'm too far out of the money. Like every time, it just has
yeah.
no chance of. The last thing I did it was Piton 9, and I should have bought eights. But yeah,
Exactly. It's um, it's the you can be right, and if the Greeks aren't in your favor, it still can go against you. That's definitely a lesson in options.
I think.
Uh,
Well, and tell me if this is true or not. It's simple as if it has no chance of expiring in the money, it's gonna be worthless sooner. Like,
yeah, no, absolutely. The only exceptions are, I mean, whales will target these crazy out of the money contracts on something that like where the IV is going to spike dramatically, like Rev when that was going, GME, AMC. They'll manipulate those way out of the money contracts, and they'll actually be pretty good. And I actually don't. Goose is the expert on those. I really rarely touch those, but you'll see
the
when
35s
if you
rev
see Goose buying something crazy out of the money, she knows what she's doing, and there's a reason. So yeah,
rev
you can learn a lot from
35s rev
it. Yeah, yeah,
35s. Jesus,
yeah.
love it.
um, so next up for me, this is the finding the one I like the most in the sector was kind of tough because there's really just a lot to like here. It's in casinos. LVS is the one I'm going after.
Okay, so
Just because I have a good track record with that one, and there's just such heavy volume on the out of the money contracts. I got 40 and 42.50 in November. So looking at its recent history, that is definitely possible. And they already had their earnings, so we're past that, and could just move back up through the zone, I think.
I don't think you can go wrong. Totally preference a chart. You can trade. You need a level from me here. 38 your key. Pretty much.
Yeah.
It says this is either 40 or 45. I'd let the flow dictate that. I'm personally an MGM guy. I do like that one a little better. Um, and then I really like that VICI. I've been looking into that because casinos pay them rent. Um,
Oh, yeah.
but other than that, I like this. I think the sector. We posted what 6 or 7 of these. I think you can't go wrong just picking one and following it.
Yeah, I think you definitely want a piece of this week for sure. All right. So next up.
Sorry, what was your strike on that? 40.
Oh, so 11, yeah, 11, 18,
That's what I need.
40, and then some 42.50 into December. That's where you really see the 42.50 pickup. And those would move really nicely. And you could go, I think in December, you could go to 45. Even if we don't get to 45, the move towards it will, those contracts will do really well.
Then my suggestion would just be to DCA shares around 35. It's being offered. You'll have time. This is more. You'll have time. Feels like donut. Chart
Yeah,
feels
I,
like
I think
donut to
so.
me. Good stuff.
It could give you some, you could see like an 8% day on this.
100%.
But yeah, I think it'll be pretty consistent. All right, so next up, now these next two are um, risky, or riskier than the others I mentioned, but the setup's just kind of too good. So Neo,
Ah.
to me, Neo, the chart looks bad. I don't know what the chart looks like on your end, um, but the flow is so good that I just can't ignore it. 11.4, 11C, just like 6 times as much volume compared to open interest on a $16, weekly. Um, that's kind of crazy, and I just can't ignore that. 10C as well, more realistic, but the flow there is great. And then you get into later in the month, 12, the sold puts. There just isn't really any much motivation to push this under 950. So we're kind of right there. Um, you could see this move in the pre-market, but it likes to pull back. So you'll have plenty of time to enter. Definitely kind of more of a day trade thing. China, just dramatic shake Chinese market. We've this fall. But in terms of, I posted in collab about that it's a government that picks winners and losers, and I think Neo will be on the good side of it whenever that shakes out.
Yeah. There's nothing. Once 10 gave, there's nothing here, and that looks like what what I think is happening here is the gamblers that I've kind of picked up on, the people that hedge their bets. That's probably what you're seeing because this thing should go to 13 if it turns around from here. It needs to reclaim 10 from a technical standpoint, or it's going to continue to fall. This thing really, I mean, the numbers where it should be are scary. I mean,
Yeah, right. And that's why I said it's risky. Like, so if I'm wrong on X, it'll fall to 18 instead of $19. If I'm wrong on Neo, it's going to be like $5 or something like that. So you don't want to just like stick in it and diamond hand it or something. But there's just day trade opportunities is kind of what I see, and attempts to reverse this. Not something I'd go in long term or anything.
yeah, I think it's on. That's where your skill comes into play here. I'm going to use one of my golden rules of the summer of the last 2 quarters. The trend does not change until you see it on the weekly, and the trend on the weekly for this thing is very very clear. I mean, it's very clear which direction it's going in on the weekly. Um, so dictating whether you just have people that are guessing on the way down for a reversal or you actually have a sustainable reversal in the flow, because I think flow will come first on this thing. Um, that's how you're going to nail the bottom of this. I just don't. I
Yeah,
know.
and that's why the short term flow, which is a day trade setup to me. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean for me right now, this one especially, but there's some other China plays that I think have potential to be the next meme stocks, just because they're going to get in a position where they're stupid cheap.
Yeah.
Um,
And they have the name recognition and a
yeah, yeah,
little bit of cult following. I
yes.
don't know anything about Neo's actual cars. I mean, are there cars like, you know, cool? Or I mean, I like, do people like I mean, you know, in terms of what they make, like do people envision like I'm going to buy a Neo car here in I live in Arizona and I'm going to go buy a Neo. Do people think that that's going to ever happen
Neo's got Neo
with this company?
best case scenario. Neo would be, you're like 40, aren't you? You're 40 years old too, right?
Yeah.
Around that. It'd be like the Mazda 626s back in the day.
Okay.
you know those people that wanted the Mazda, or the,
Yeah, yeah.
those fucking guys. Like it'd be
Right.
like maybe like a Subaru is probably too big nowadays, but you're just gonna have those guys that like that trendy different brand that would want a Neo versus a Tesla. The problem is always going to be, and we don't talk about this enough with the crappy ones, and this one's not a crappy one, but they don't have like maintenance and stuff over here. So like getting a Neo in the next 15 years in America, just not really feasible on any level. Even if you imported it, right? Like yourself, like what are you gonna do after that if something happens? Um, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's like Tesla's whole gig is like they handle all their maintenance. Like it's just through Tesla. You call them, they handle it. Because it's still so unique. There's not like an electrical vehicle repair shop down the street yet. Um, so getting people to work on your stuff is always going to be an issue in the States. I know that's kind of rambling, but
Yeah. Yeah.
on Neo over there, they're cheaply made. They do have a lot of problems, but they kind of handle it. They're efficient. They're a Chinese company. Um, Middle of the road though. Obviously there'll be fanboys, um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
That makes
I think you're gonna see like 7 or 8 different American ones before you see a Neo in America. Europe though, maybe.
Yeah. Nice.
Sorry, fucking
No, that's good.
EV rant.
Yeah. So next up, I'll stick in China for a minute. Tiger, TIGR.
I'm glad you're in this area.
Yeah, I definitely was looking for opportunities just based on some of those dramatic moves. So here, the picture's a little bit clearer. 1118 4P is bullish, and then leaps 4 and 5 for January. That's what they're after.
Yeah, I got 487 3-year volume P is our only line on the chart. It was there a couple months ago. This is a good chart to throw the um, the line on the previous weekly candle and kind of add off the bottom of that, especially that last month and a half. Which here I'll give you a number of what it was this week, like 320, 313. Um,
Yeah, it moves really nicely on a any kind of positive Chinese day.
I started watching this one probably midsummer. I like the way it moves. Just been kind of waiting for the either the news, the flow, or the overall market to change. I think this one's, especially from $3 level, this 7 or 8 for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think we're early, and there's time to pick your spots.
You have 4s and 5s right now.
Yeah, yeah, I got fives for January,
That seems interesting.
and those are about $9 right now.
That's a good place to put lunch money for a while.
Yeah. You if this runs, you'll double those or triple those easily.
Here, let's do this for you guys real quick. Yeah, so what I'm talking about is, sorry, god dang it, cancel. Just draw a line. I mean, even if it's just the bottom line, just go the last few weeklies. What's everything touched? I got 4 of them right there, and it's the base of last week, 323. Let's try to get ads off that.
Okay, cool.
I do like China right now. I hate to say it. You buy when people don't like stuff.
Yeah, like it's kind of my theory when something's a punchline, you know, then well, like it's like $7. Everybody's it's all Twitter jokes, and I'm like, this is $11 stock, and so China, the to zero. Well, not really. So you just sort of look for the chart and the flow, and there's opportunities there.
Exactly. Expect the market to overreact.
Yeah. All right. So next up for me, this is a consumer defensive stock. Coty, Coty.
You've been here before.
Really like this one under 7. There's always a big push in 7C when that happens. So 12/16 7C stands out as bullish. February leaps to 8 are nice as well, and then 7P is a bullish contract too on all expirations. I don't have a lot of incentive to play weeklies on this. I would stick to the December stuff. 12/16 7C is $40, so it's in that price range too.
Yeah, we have 714 to 781 previous channel. It needs to reclaim that. Lines up with the strikes, and you have ER coming up.
The sectors had some strength too. And Coty, by the way, is a beauty products company.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So skincare and cosmetics and that kind of thing. Sort of your cheap. I mean, it's sort of like not cheap as in like not dollar store, but sort of value priced stuff. Yeah.
To Ulta.
Yeah.
It's a cheaper Ulta, basically. I like it.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Next up, get my list here. All right. So this one, I'd been interested in for a while in the flow notes, but I said like it just kind of needed to calm down a bit. But it's going to go again. Veru. Veru.
Yeah.
And I mean, as far as like biotechs, getting a little more confidence in those after what BNGO did this week, and then IC, and I've had a few others. So I used to just kind of watch these and not really, just get into them, but starting to get a feel for it. The thing is that with these more than other sectors, there's just when they spike and then they're on back. There's just this combination of some pretty steep declines in price and just a lot of buying into it. Like they just keep averaging down. They don't really care. They stay in it. They just know it's going to go again. And they have plenty of time for that to happen. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. But it's a calm enough spot in the chart where it's either going to move steep to the upside or it's just going to break down and I'm just wrong, and that's fine too. So let me give you some strikes here. Veru 12/16 25C.
That's your top on both of your previous runs. That's all that is.
Yeah, and then 120 35C. So you get those. I don't know that they're looking for the move to 25 in order for those to pay off. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at on it. And then 12.5P
Yeah,
is
yeah.
bullish for November 18th. So we're kind of right around there. So I kind of like the spot. Could dip back under 12, I guess, but I see a pretty dramatic move up coming on this.
Historically, on the 10-year, and then on the short term, like the 1 month volume profile, 11 lines up real well, and then on your 3 and your year, which is the ones we normally use, we're right at 1278 on both. So that's your 1250. Well, you 1250 to 11 channel basically, that we're sitting in. If that breaks to the upside, that's when you're going to have your run. Um, Especially after 15. Like it really, I bet this thing's really super spready after 15.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you're going to get 20, 30 cent spread on the share side, which I don't know what that does for options, but um, yeah, smaller positions on the share side for me when that happens. But yeah, it's there. It lines up. 11 would be my change thesis spot.
nice. Yeah, yeah. It's been inescapable in the healthcare sector to see them buying this. So worth the shot, I think. All right. So next up for me is Virgin Galactic SPCE.
Yay!
Just this is a stock I've traded some. Just kind of shocking that it's this low based on sort of its original hype and runs. You just got to kind of ignore some of those though. But I kind of like it here under 5 for a move to 5. Um, Earnings coming up November 3rd. Not a lot to be optimistic about earnings, but options are nice to trade when the sector's going, and so for that reason, I like 11.45C and 4.5C are what I'm targeting.
Nice. I got we still have like 650. This thing's underwater since then. Um, I love the sector though. I think any news, like these guys don't need the best news. They just need some sort of positive news, and they really do, make a good run. Talking, 20-30% runs. Um, I definitely wouldn't. I'd let these guys get on the other side of ER though, P. Just personally.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I mean, I think they might beat FSR in T-shirt sales, but other than that, I don't
Right.
know what else they have financially going for them right now.
Yeah.
And the market is really, if the market right now was like hopeful and optimistic on growth, these guys would be a no-brainer. Like I'd probably be pounding the table, but the market is fixated on results now and results in the next 3 months, and that's just not what this company's outlook and plan is. So
Yeah.
I do think we continue down. I'm with you that under 5 is flipping. I didn't think it was going to happen. Um, but yeah, yeah. That wait to get through ER. I don't really have much of a level down here though, P. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I got to lean more on flow and just
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
push back to 5, and then I think from there it's a new setup will emerge if it defends 5.
Yeah.
The
I think like this sector, why we stay on it and we like it so much is because I don't think they can hide the flow from you.
Yeah,
Like when the whales get in this, you can tell. You can't put, $300,000 of option contracts on this thing without somebody seeing it. Like it stands out obviously. And that's just an assumption, but that from the flow side, these space plays, you can really see the 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 bigger fish move.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the one with this a little bit clear in its momentum. AIS is
Yeah, yeah. Okay, here we go. This was on
just
my list.
so they this is a space play, but they're um,
Satellites.
cellular networks in space. Yeah, they tend to like they're doing they have more immediate results on what they're doing instead of man flights to space or whatever. But okay, so what we have here is um, yeah, I've got 1118 10C. I've got 7.5 C all over the place across all expirations. Just overwhelmingly overwhelmingly bullish throughout as far as that goes. So see, I see this continuing 7 to 8. That's my
We
outlook for it.
we had 622 to or excuse me, 621 to 813. Reclaimed the channel here last week, which caught my attention. And yeah, the flow reads take you up there. Volume profile's 10 on the 3 year. Everything lines up great here. You really get going after 8. It's playable 2-8, so I love this.
Excellent. And
I think that these are just going to trickle in. I had was it RKLB 2 weeks ago, and I had the
yeah,
PL last week, both space plays. I think they're just trickling in because they're all beat down. Um, so stay on top of those people. That's my advice.
and this next one, this was another sector I was early on. It's one of those like casual mentions that paid off pretty big is airlines.
Yeah.
So I want to look at AAL, and I don't really like it at 14, but if and this is being picky, but 1350 I think is going to hold up, and so I think we see a dip there, um, and I see this moving towards 15, and there's some January leaps to 20, so I think this sector really could start to get moving, and you can buy a June leap on this if you're just sort of believing in the sector for like $100 and just set it and forget it, because I do think that we see some decent recovery. I doubt we dip back into the 12s or anything on this again anytime soon. So yeah, so see a sector recovery. 15's realistic short term target, probably works its way back up to 18 to 20 next year.
13, well, 1296 to be picky, and then like 1380 is your 2 volume profiles. Um, Pretty respectful of that area right now. Everything you said, I agree with that. Um, I'm surprised these aren't already moving because the demand hasn't went down for their product. So yeah,
Yeah, and I just so airlines, there's a number that you could choose from that move in a kind of similar way to each other. UAL, Delta,
yeah, Dow.
um,
Everything but
yeah,
Alaska. Everything but Alaska. That's its own beast.
yes, yeah,
I don't
and
know why.
Southwest Airlines, I like, but it's a little bit. They had a big beat and it was a little bit more overextended, so I think you'd have to kind of wait for more of a dip on that one. But AAL was kind of the one that I thought was closest to being ready. But yeah, you
Yes.
can just kind of study the sector, and it's worth just cycling through. I have all their charts right next to each other, and I just sort of move through them. A small cap that I do like
Hawaii.
is Hawaiian
Yeah.
Holdings.
Hawaii.
So that one is more volatile. Had a really nice spike before earnings, pulled back a bit. Outlook's pretty good though, so that's worth. I don't have it on the hot list, but that's worth watching too.
You don't what's your feel on JetBlue? I'm not gonna say I told you. I won't say it, but
Yeah.
what's your feeling on
um,
JetBlue?
Yeah, I think that's probably going to 9.
No, no,
And
no. I mean, just on the tradability option side,
oh
that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
That kind of stuff.
yeah. No, it gets a lot of flow because there's always the merger catalyst potential here. So yeah, I like JetBlue.
Yeah,
Good call.
I think it's just easier for the share side for me is why I like it. And it kind of it feels to me like the little brother, like it just goes with the other ones. Like it just
Yeah, it
does what
does,
they
and
do.
it's you can get more of it because it's $8
Yeah,
opposed to 13, 14. So yeah.
exactly, exactly. Perfect.
All right. So
I like your
so this one,
sectors so far today. I like where you're at here.
well, you guys spoke too soon because I'm talking real estate now.
Hey, buy
I,
red. No, I thought about it. Let's go.
so I'm ready. I'm ready to get back into open.
All right, that was not the
And
one. That's not the one I was thinking, but okay.
was yours Redfin?
No, you know I like the big Z.
Oh, Z. Yeah. No, I like.
I like the
Um,
blue chip
so
there.
open is there's some risk here, but the thing is that the flows really kind of turned pretty dramatically over the past week or so. And let me give you some numbers. So when it drops this low, the the spacing on the options, like, I mean, 5.5 to less of a jump than it is from 2.5 to 3. So in that respect, the flow read can be a little bit tougher, but I definitely see a move to 3 here over the next couple weeks, and a test from there could open up some interesting possibilities. You do see some 3.5C in December popping in, but the main thing I notice is there just isn't much of an effort to take this below 250 right now. So I think it's a pretty good spot to add based on that.
Good spot to add on fundamentals. It's worth about 350 a share if we sell some furniture. Um, you're kind of getting a reversal on the weekly. I do have the earnings this week, which they could just say, "Hey, our chairs are worth $5."
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, I like it down here. Just timing again. We can't time the market. We can just take an educated guess. Um, Now's not a bad time to take a swing at it, in my opinion, on this chart. I didn't like it when you said it, just because of where it's at on the quick glance. Um,
Yeah.
but with the fundamentals and stuff, we could definitely have a bounce here back to that 354 level. No problem. No problem.
Yeah,
And
and 6-8% in a day is like nothing big picture for where this has fallen from. And
yes.
you know, and could easily catch momentum to that. And if you happen to be in some options a few weeks out, you're going to have a really good day if you catch that day. So,
Do,
so
don't
that's
these
what I'm looking
don't these guys buy homes? Aren't they like
at.
buyers?
Yeah, they do, and it had been sort of all bad, but they've maybe kind of turned a corner a bit just with some of the things I've been reading. So
If they have I'd have to look into it, but if they have like their own money, if they're not borrowing money, right? That's not a bad place to be right now because you're getting homes at a discount,
yeah,
especially if you're
absolutely.
not paying the interest rate. That's a whole nother thing. Yeah, no, I like these guys. I like the thesis in the sector and everything that is being way too beat down.
Yeah, very good. So next up for me is Saber, SABR, and
We can't have that. We've been playing SOBR, the social play for like
yeah,
3 weeks. It can be confusing.
right. Yeah, there could be some mix up there.
I
But when
thought.
you look at the chart, when you look at the charts, there's going to be no mistaking. You're not going to miss them off from this chart. So this is really um, beaten down like with the market and the sector. The company itself has actually been doing pretty well on its last earnings report was good. The flow is telling me that they expect that to happen again. And again, there's a lot of risk playing earnings, of course, but 11, 18, 6C, 7C is what jumps out. Puts at 5 are really bullish. So any ads close to 5, I think, are going to hold up.
Yeah, there's some decent support at 5 in your volume profile, 750. I like that. I'm gonna put a line here at 725, 723 to be exact. We kind of hit that a couple times last week. There's some range on the daily.
Yeah, and you could get a big push on. So earnings are November 2nd, pre-market. So
Tuesday, Wednesday,
they could be
Wednesday,
one where you want to jump in on the share side with some momentum off of that.
Yeah, read the report. Read the report. If it's decent,
yeah,
definitely take it. 523 is what I'll put down. I do like this setup. Not gonna lie.
And all right, next up for me is Lyft.
Yes, I do like
Just
that.
I like to return to a recent winner. The same setup again. And so what I see here, I've got 11, 18, 20C, which is basically an earnings bet. But I think there's just limited downside from here. Anything in the 14s is good. I think we're going to see a push to 15, 16.
Yeah, we had 1248 that we reclaimed, and then 15 is the high, which we beat up last week. Breaking that 15 is key. 20 definitely stands out on the chart. That spot though, it may not happen in this thesis playing out, but in general, that spot has that gap like Netflix does or did, right? So
Yeah.
when this gets to 20, it could have a really good run. Um, but playing it from the 15 break, even to 17 or 18 seems like a really good spot to play to me in the more short term area. Just got to
Yeah,
get
and
through.
with so earnings are November 7th, and I think they're gonna test some things before then is how I would put it. That and that's where I think we'll see that 15 break, and we'll see where that goes. Probably pulls back again before earnings. Earnings
Yeah.
are favorable. It's gonna run like it did last time. So
Do you have puts anywhere? Because that's key. I mean, if you have sold puts at 14 or 13, that's going to be the clear path, in my opinion, on where to add.
yeah, so I got sold puts at 14 for 11.4.
Okay, so that's where you're
And
going to add. That's where you're going to want your
yeah,
ads.
yep.
Okay. Yeah. So what's this line for me on the hour? 13.5. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's going to be buying in the middle of our channel, but we just completed the channel, so um, I like it. I like this a lot. Crappy apps in general, I like right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a business that it's really hard for them to actually turn a profit, but not sure how much that matters down here. Uh,
Yeah, no, not at all.
all right, so then next up for me, just because it's finally back into a zone I know well, is M. So I'm looking at M to stay above 20 based on the sold puts I'm seeing for December at 20p, and looking for potential move to 22. So nothing too dramatic, but kind of it's going to be on my radar for day trading. If it rejects here, it's going to go back to 18 bucks,
18. Yeah.
and so that downside's playable too if you want to do that.
My notes what you said the second half right there. I'm hoping it reject. If I'm not in it, I'm hoping it's a fan. I'm a fan of it falling, right?
Yeah, because I actually on the there's not much to like here on the share side, in my opinion, up here, but on the options, the options move really nicely, so you can day trade those.
Well, it's a 50. It's a 50-50 for me. I brought this up this week, but I'm gonna keep pounding the table on this one. So I got four questions I ask myself pretty much on any stock right now. If it's more than a scalp sector. This is a mall stock. Profitable. They're probably even right now. Trend.
Yeah.
We're in an uptrend. And level. Overextended. So for me, it's about 50-50 right now. So I like it. I like it at 18 though. But sector profitability, trend, and the current level, those four things you should ask yourself on any play you're looking at right now.
Yeah, and well, and I mean, to be honest, like we're putting on the hot list now. It could fall to 18, and
Yep.
then like 3 days from now, and then there we are, and then catch the bounce. So that's definitely possible too.
Yeah, so you guys were going to be early because we're telling you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's my thesis on it. I like it a lot. Strong conviction off of 20 with some news or overall market trend, I would probably play this 2P. Like if we just have those blazing green days and this thing's holding 20,
Yeah.
I'm with you taking that. It's 10%, right? You just take your 20 to 22.
Uh, sector wise, I see a big push for Gap as well. I just GPS. It's a little. I don't trade it as much, and
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's going to have some trouble at 12. But it's got a lot of flow behind it too.
interesting. They're brands, and they're not going anywhere. Someone will buy that
Yeah.
shit. So,
Yeah. So that's my new stuff.
woo! It's an interesting list. A lot of stuff we. I don't think there's anything on there besides Para. And to be honest with you, I bet we've been there before, but I don't think there's anything on that list that we haven't really covered. So I like that. The familiarity is key to me. So
Yeah.
let's hop right into the hot list pickups and swap them over. We have affirmed first. I'm sorry, I was a little blank there. I don't know what my thesis was on this, but this thing popped off the level on Monday. How did I miss this guy? Jesus. This is a good example of there was too many plays Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
This is a great.
um,
We had 17, 1695. Our upper level was 23, and we hit 22 like Wednesday. Check back a little bit to 20. If we kept it, it would be continuation to that 23 or more on your end.
yeah, I don't have that. I think
Sweet.
it could very well bounce around our range here. I don't have enough to keep it because I would want to see 24 and 26 in December. I'm not seeing that yet. Very well could happen if you trade it often. Not saying not to, because I think there's gonna be some good trades there, but
Sure.
doesn't have the A+ for the list for me this week.
Love it, love it. Yeah, just put 17 on your chart, people. Set an alert. That's the area where you want to trade it. Um, and do what I do when it gets there. Just say, "Hey, P, what's the
Yeah.
flow like on Affirmed?" Because it's a group effort in that regard. Watching all these damn charts. Um,
Yeah.
I totally missed this move. That's a flipping power move. Wow. Um, I I did not miss this one. AG.
Yeah,
I'm
still
I'm a
like
big
silver. I think
yeah big yes on AG.
eight. I think 850 is gonna hold up on it, and so we're like right there, and I see it going to 10 in the January calls. So seems like breaking 9 would be a big key here. That would open up a lot for that further move.
819 is the level we will have on the chart. What we were off by 8 cents on Friday on that Friday dip, but it's confirmed it 3 or 4 times over the last 10 days. Just support turning Resistance turning to support, in my opinion, before we make that bigger move to the $10 range, which is volume profile. I like this one. This is A plus on my end, extra plus because it's A plus on your end. That's kind of how I see AG right
Yeah, I like it.
now. Gold AUY.
I do. Yeah, I like it back to 5. Um, a little bit more uncertain on the floor here. It so like the 450
Yeah.
puts are bullish. They're not overwhelmingly so. Put to call ratio is still good. So I don't think you're going to see a lot like dramatic here, but I think you could play this back to 5 pretty easily.
459 is our key level. To 528, that would be the channel, but it's having trouble on 450 on the TA side. Um, Gold being stagnant is what I've always attributed it to.
Yes, 100%.
So your call here to keep it and play this what it's been doing, or take it off. It's all your call.
We'll take it off. I mean, I
Okay.
think if you're in it, you're fine, and if you trade it off, and you kind of know what to do.
Yeah, I'll be saying something to you at like the 17, 17, 20 gold prices. I think when we get there, that's. But the 16 stuff, it just doesn't move these stocks, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Mr. Bio, Professor
yeah,
Bio over here. Well,
um, yeah. I want to just I think this could definitely go back to 3 on my end, but I'm inclined to take the win and
you're
just wait because I think
okay.
it could fall back down to. I don't have as clear a picture as I did last week on it.
Okay. I was gonna bring up blue, which was another one you found that we had on the hot list that we took the dub on, and that thing kind of channeled for a while. So I'm just curious if it was in a similar setup from the because this is in a 220 at 260 280 channel basically.
Yeah,
Um, Curious. I Professor's bio read. Stay on him. He times those wells. IC, B and GO, and the one I just said, blue. All of them were perfect timing. Good stuff, P.
yeah. Blue has some really interesting
I should have
float
brought it up.
floated. It has floated 10
Yeah,
in December, so yeah, that could happen.
that chart is gonna squeeze. We couldn't tell you when. If we did, we would just be on an island somewhere waiting for that day.
Yeah,
Bros.
very nice read on coffee. That was
Sweet.
good. And let me see if I want to keep it.
We nailed the other one, but it's just because I'm very familiar with the chart and you're really good with the float.
And probably gonna take it off for now, just because
Okay.
the calls at 37 are looking a little bearish. I want to see 40 more
Yes.
definitively. Very well could happen. 11 18 40 C is what I'm watching, but the flow on the calls leading up to that being bearish has me a little hesitant. So worth
Okay.
watching. I'm gonna take it off the list for now though.
Okay. If we had like a DCA um, page, this would be in my top 5 for sure. But
Yeah,
I'm with you of it kind of living here for a while. Um,
yeah.
Peabody.
And by the way,
Sorry.
and so when calls are bearish, it doesn't mean it's going to go down. They make money if it consolidates, and I think that is the likely scenario here.
Yeah, because they're selling calls, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they'll just eat up that premium as it just bounces around.
Interesting. Peabody.
Man, I've been, I've been so good being stubborn on this, but I got to take it. I got to take it off for
All right,
now.
I
Just
didn't see that coming.
yeah, the flow is not there at this time, but it probably means it's gonna go. But
Earnings this
I
week.
want to revisit it next week. I still see a scenario for this head back to 32 to 35.
Yes.
But I think we might dip a bit um, in the shorter term.
Earnings Thursday.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Dang it. I like that one now. CCJ.
All right. CCJ. Let's see.
3-day rule. How was our report? Was our report good? Inline sales beat.
Uh,
Inline sales beat. Yeah, it was good. They beat by about 20%.
yeah, and they had that drop on an offering was kind of a gift back to my line at 2182, and yeah, it's been really good since then. Let's see. I've got
You're 2182.
mhm.
You're one of your few lines that are a little bit lower than mine. I'm 2213.
Oh wow.
Usually it's the other way, right?
Yeah, it usually is. All right, so what I've got here, I've got January 28. C looks good. Puts at 23 and 24
We're
are
keeping this. We're
bullish.
keeping this.
So yeah, we'll keep it.
Yeah. I got 27 as my top end. 28's above that. Everything else lines up well here. Um, yeah. Buy 22 to 24, my opinion. Cenex.
Yes, I like Cenex. I've got 1216 8C.
Ooh,
Kind of
nice.
tells me all I need to know.
Like it.
So yeah, I like that.
Coin.
So so I don't like buying calls on coin over 7250. But so I think it's going to run up a bit though. Could go to like 78 to 80 before earnings, and then I think earnings will probably be bad. That's kind of my take on it. It very well could it could surprise and beat. If it does, it could squeeze to 90 to 100 again. Very well could happen. So
We're keeping it.
yeah, we'll keep it. We'll
All
keep it.
right. Comstock.
Just, let's see, Comstock.
Another ER. 16 is the level I got. We're not horribly far from there.
So I've got 11, 18, 19 C looks pretty good on it. Um, doesn't quite jump out at me like it did, so I'll probably go and take it off for that reason.
Good. I like it, especially with ER if you're uncertain.
Yeah.
Shout out to Professor. Um, Killed this one. This is the great example. Talking Disney, great
Yeah.
example why I like to work with him and I put up with all his shit. No, I'm just playing. It's because when I get to a level like this 103, I can't tell you if we're going to reject or confirm. And he was confident that the it was going to take us higher than 103. And if you look at the weekly last week, you have a perfect example of resistance turning to support off the 103 level. So again, great call here on Disney. If you followed us on this play, you should have gotten 92s, 93s, 94s, and you're looking really good on that position right now. Full disclosure, I did not get in Disney this time, kicking myself in the butt on that a little bit. I was being patient, but the play's there, and looking forward to the flow read this week, hoping we get some 107s to 110s.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. I've got let's see, 11, 4, 107, 11, 4, 106. And I've got 115, 120. And you actually see there was a whale alert on the January 120. So I still like Disney. I think you've got a little more risk buying up here.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just at a point where like it's going to make a decision, and that upside decision is going to send it back to that 120, 125 range if that's where it goes. If not, we'll check back to those other levels and we'll just play it again from there.
Yeah, I really think long term this is where we will be that most valuable at is real stocks, real levels, historical values, and nailing pivots to get entries even like let's say in 5 years Disney's at like 180. Um, us being able to play a dip like that at the 180 level and then in 10 years it's at 300, right? But being able to
Yeah.
add like at the right times, because we're proving that in this market so far, in my opinion. We've nailed this 92 twice, done it with Square, Roblox. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. So, but great work this week on this one for sure.
No, thanks. Yeah, and it is actually any way you could think to trade Disney is you can add shares long term. You can day trade weekly options. The leaps,
Leaps,
the
yeah.
bid ask is tight, so leaps
Covered
work too.
calls, covered
Uh,
calls.
yeah, you get into that stuff for sure. Yeah, you could do that. And all right, so then next up is DraftKings,
Yes.
and
Another one. $12
we
ads.
yeah, and we should keep it. We're breaking into that next leg up kind of flow is
Yeah.
to 17. And really actually to me 17 calls mean is more like 1750 is sort of where it tends to go on that. And um, yeah, December 20 is where I see it going.
I, this is one of the ones that is the reason I ran out of funds last week. This would be why I definitely went a little overboard in this. But I believed in the thesis, the company, and all that good stuff, especially with the ESPN partnership. Um, right now, that 17, 17.5, whatever you want to call it, that would be the clear indication of the trend change. If we don't get that or we get a rejection of that level, I think we do check back down here to the 14 or wherever the trend line is that we've had on this thing, because it's been real respectful of that. Don't really like adding right here, um, unless we just get a day where the market's just flying. But 17 is the point for me right now. Continuation
Um,
play.
yeah, and by the way, this is worth pointing out that when Unk says he doesn't like adding here, he's referring to shares.
Yes.
And a lot of times
Only.
a mediocre share entry could be an excellent option entry.
Yes.
Just because you don't need as much. Like if you're pretty confident in the upside, but it's like 2%, 3% in shares, it's not that great. But in options, that's huge. So it's just about your time frames and what you're trading.
Yes. Yeah. It's just
Um,
like Oxy and Monster when they're up there at the top. It's just not
yeah,
from the way I trade. But it's amazing from the option side when you push those new contracts at all time highs. And yeah. No, this 100% probably going to be a killer on that, what, 7% move from 15 to
yeah,
17. It's just not the place I would add shares. Yeah, no, 100%. No, 100% with you. But in that regard, you should have already been in this thing on the share side. Maybe I'm a little
yeah,
biased. Maybe I'm a little biased
yeah.
on that, but you should have already been in there. So good work on here, too. Great stuff.
We got DNA next.
Yep. Yeah, I was like,
Uh,
P's got the list out in front of him. Let's go.
yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Last week my list wasn't right. I still had phase and rum. I had rum.
Oh, this guy in the rum. My bad. My bad. Hey, you know what it was? I analyze everything. You know what that was? I'm sure you know what it was.
Um, you mean like a news thing, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah.
they that the Twitter would kill them It was kind of
Yeah.
the thinking.
Well, that
Yeah,
Trump would go over, and then Trump said, "No,
right.
I'm staying." He said, "I'm fucking staying."
Yeah,
The stock flies. um, DNA though,
yeah, and basically rum is just getting everything that DWAC used to do. Is you're getting the moves in rum instead.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, so yeah, DNA. I mean, like to me, as under $3, I'm keeping it because I think that it's going to go to 3, and then is very quickly going to go to 350, and then we start to see if 4 opens up. But yeah, the 3 and 350 calls in December still have a big some big momentum there.
yeah. This was the inside, or excuse me, not inside. It's not inside bar. It's a dumb way to put it because that's a different thing. This was the weekly candle high low chart from last week, where you just basically take your high and your low off the weekly candle, and try to play those levels. And it worked out perfectly because we got a break of the level. Just the 1 day test, it came back. It opened the next day at that level, and it kind of fell back into the channel. Um, but just a good example of how to get stupid easy levels to get trades, especially when charts are trading sideways. Um, Other than that, I'm with P. Me and Kathy would own the float. I love it under $3. I really love it under 250. You can do the weekly candle trick again this week. So your low is going to be 243. Your high is going to be right at $3. That's 70 cents on a $2.50 stock. To me, that sounds like 25%. News coming in should do good for these guys. The Saudi news didn't move them much last time, so I'm a little hesitant on that. But people are slow. Give it a couple weeks for it to fully saturate. We're still kind of in that window.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I got.
All
Donut.
right, so donut. Probably gonna take it off. I feel like if you're in it, just kind of manage your position because I think there is more upside here, but just not a spot to add to me.
Yeah, we are on our what 700 test of 14 this year.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm with you on that. I kind of hope it fails again, give people an opportunity to get in it again. Um, yeah, perfect.
yep. All right, so then Docu. Um, so yeah, Docu is it had a couple decent days. Didn't really kind of have the explosive move I thought the conditions might give us. And
If what you've seen is still there, I would keep it P.
yeah, I mean, I'm still seeing flow into the 60s.
I would keep it.
So yeah, yeah, I'll keep it.
I would give it
Just
another
it's
week.
hard. It's hard to time it, but that move into my lines at like 59 to 62, I'm thinking it breaks back into there.
Yeah.
Just not sure. Not sure when. It might even be earnings, which is December 2nd. So we could be waiting a little while. But really like ads on this. Close to 45 as you can get. If we were to get a dip down there, I would probably get some shares or leaps on it.
Yeah, if you get 45s, you can just play 45 to 50 and be okay because 50 is kind of the spot right now. But I think this is going to trend slowly grind up back to 55s, 56,
Yeah.
and then make a decision on what we want to do. It just doesn't have a lot of range right now. I think you're early. TA's looking. It looks better this week than last week.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's my favorite beaten down formerly $300 stock.
Yeah.
It's I like it more than like Roku or a couple others of those.
They're unique too. They're really unique. There's not a lot of what they
Yeah,
do.
yeah, and they're in. If you're in the like anything, not even just like business, but academia, even you see
Yeah,
these
yeah.
DocuSign everywhere.
Oh,
So they do have
100%.
like a niche, and they're actually Adobe's been raising their prices a lot. So I think they might actually be a little more competitive in their pricing. I don't think Adobe's undercutting them like they had been. All right, so then we get to uh, EXK. I just kind of like AG more. This is playable. There's just nothing special about it this week to me.
Sweet.
But you get ads like 320. I think is good if you do trade this. Really needs to break. Well, it needs to break 4, but it looks like it might have some trouble a little bit before that.
Yeah, this guy in like SVM, so this guy SVM Gato, like you play those. What I'm seeing is you play those after like AG makes a move. Like AG's gonna lead, and these guys will come up. They'll be the sympathy plays. They're not the leaders.
Yeah. And let's see here. FCell. Chargers have been good for day trades. They're just a little bit frustrating for a more sustained move. They're just not doing it, and that kind of seems likely to continue. I'm not seeing enough of a push past 350 to really be that interested in it right now.
Perfect. There's better ones for me in general. FTCH.
All right.
This was the other. It's not on my chart, but this is the other one that I did the weekly candle trick on, and it worked out pretty well too.
Flow's really good on it. So I got 11, 18, 11C.
Wow.
And got leaps to 15. So yeah, we should keep it.
I like these guys. Not the company, the chart when I say these guys.
Yeah.
Fubo. It's kind of a no-brainer. Earnings this week.
Yeah, we should keep Fubo.
Yeah, the 350 level. I think we agree on that.
Yes. I see it. Keep testing 4, and there's always a path to 5 with this one.
Yeah, so. I don't think I said that enough, but I'm want to be very clear on that. This is going to be a $3 to $4 stock, then a $5 to $7 stock, then a $7 to $9 stock. You know, it's just going to slowly churn up. In my opinion, the better the market gets, the higher this is going to
go. And it's at a point in like things. We're well past the Zach Morris days, and we're just getting a more organic time.
100%.
Go broke through exactly what I was looking for. That 1290 that we talked about, and I think was that it's like volume profile or something.
Yeah, it's volume on your 1 year. Yeah, it's perfect break.
Yeah. And so I like some continuation. I've got 11, 18, 15C. I've got leaps to 17. 20, and I've got 12 and 13 puts are bullish. So so yeah, I think we're off and running. And if you look at what this has done in the past, lot to like here.
I think market conditions might pull you back into the low 13s, but I don't think we get below that 1290 again.
And that would be the perfect spot to add if we do get that pullback. Yeah. I think you can. What I might do is like a leap starter. Like if I'm planning to buy 5 of them, I'll buy 1, wait for the pullback to add. If it just takes off, I'll just keep my 1 and just ride it out. But so that's kind of my take on it.
I love
it. Hut, I got to keep that. It ran 11%, but days like that are normal once this gets going. So just buckle up. It's gonna continue. I got flow to 3, so I think we see that.
I'm just gonna throw it out there that we traded Hut from 4 to 8, from 6 to 8, and now we trading it in the $2, but it's just the site, not this. It's the psychology of the stock. The way it moves is why we trade it. The price has zero to do with it, like zero to do with it.
Yeah, right. And we let this go for months all the way down. Like you didn't see us, trying to buy the dip at 375 or something like that. The setup just wasn't there, so we let it fall all the way back down, and now we know the character of it and what it's likely to do.
Yeah, yeah, and if you're like, you know, I'm not saying to go long on these crypto stocks at all. Um, but if you like this kind of company, these $2 ads are going to be a thing of the past when this thing does break four.
Yeah,
That's kind of like the big level for me is that $4 level. So, but we're still about 100% from there. So have fun while we're down here.
yeah. Let's see, IQ. See if my China list has room for one more.
That 183 that we waited for, that was perfect. I do remember
Yeah,
this one now, though. It's like I don't like this till 183. I mean, it went lower. I mean, it's not a perfect bounce. Don't get me wrong, but it broke that level and sure did fight back. Um, where did we get down to? 169, 166 even. Wow.
yeah, and it continues to have some push here. I'm going to take it off. It's probably still it's going to go, but let's take the win there.
I like it. I like it. This is why I like the way I do my TA. You had what 2.5 hours to add below my level, but man, did it bounce back
Yeah.
all the way to 230.
Yeah, and it was just a matter of you have the thesis and you stick to it.
Yeah.
Ignore the all China going to zero. FUD. It was going to bounce, so that was
Yeah,
good.
yeah, and a lot of that, why my stuff worked. Let's just, it's not that I'm a genius or I'm a fucking stock fucking reader, right? Like I can just physically see things different. It's my style is oversold. That's it. This
Yeah,
this was setting up to be oversold. So it's like throwing me a fastball. I can just hit fastballs. You throw me a curveball, you throw me something in an uptrend, my levels aren't going to be as good. It's just the way. I mean, I know that, right? I have to know that. Like it's just not any level I put on a chart is magic. But if something's going to be oversold, boy, I'll tell you where you want to buy, and this just fit that setup well.
yeah, absolutely. Um, all right, so uh, JKS, the reason for this one to run uh, came and went. It had
Yeah.
a really nice move, all week from like the low 40s, and it hit 48. So just exactly what I wanted out of it. Not really sure where it goes from here. Definitely you could see solar continue to push, but there's just other solar plays I like more. So I'll let this one go for now.
Good
Might
work.
revisit it later.
Good work on that 2P. That was perfect dip spot.
And let's see, KGC. Just gold might kind of stagnate here, so I'm not seeing a big push. Four's the test I want. Just don't know that the environment's going to give us that just yet.
I do like this find. This will probably pay in the future. Much slower mover. I do like it. I'm with you right now. It's in the middle of my zone. I'm looking for that move to four. I'd rather buy it off the like 325, 330 level.
And Kodak, this is one of my favorites. This was actually the one that convinced me that flow reads on smaller cap stocks can work really well. Let's see. 12, 16, 750 keeps me interested. So I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, continuation, in my opinion. The levels
Yeah.
on here are so flipping strong. Yeah, just got a continuation. I like it a lot. I would like to see it get it back above the trend line. I think it really makes a move when we do reclaim that. But yeah,
Yeah, I think the algos flip on at that point,
exactly.
and they'll push it. All right, LAC. Yes, so $30, 11/18/30C is a really strong contract. So we're on kind of a nice dip here, looking for ads under 25. Don't think we get all the way down to 22.50. So yeah, anything in the 24s I think is pretty good, and it's going to push higher.
I like it. I like this. I like the sector as well.
And Lemonade, just really strong on market pullbacks. Does not want to come back to my line at 1838. I just kind of given up on getting that. I think this I don't know what you feel like, a higher low consolidation kind of thing we had going. Some real strength building. Let me see what flow I've got. 11.4, 24.50. I've got 11.18, 25, 11.25, 31. So yeah, there's some potential here for sure. Could see a dip to like 22.
Yeah, that's my level.
Yeah.
Just confident. We're just consolidating on that right now.
Mara, yeah, I'm not taking any crypto off.
Okay.
This one just power moves is what characterizes this stock. So yeah.
I called it off the 10 level. I have 17 as the top, so I just don't have a level in between there. But you can play this on like the momentum of the day. It's easier to day trade this than to try to just buy off a level.
Yeah, for sure. And MLCO. Yeah, I still like this 12/16 7C. Like this to make a move back up there.
Yeah, I like this chart. They're a casino too, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
I like the chart now. Good confirmation last week. Definitely buy under the 530 level here. Would we get down to 470? I'd be a little mindful of that. I think ads around 5 though. You're going to be fine long term here.
Yeah. Let's see. MQ. Some nice moves this week. Probably going to go ahead and take it off just because. I mean, I've got flow to 8, a little bit to 9, but it's just not enough to justify keeping it.
Yeah. 775 is my level, which we bounced off of the last 3 days of the week. I could definitely see it checking back down. With you, there's not enough meat on the bone until you see 10s or 11s.
Yeah. And let's see, Nat. Well, I still got leaps to 4. So could definitely see this checking back in at 350. Not sure we get another dip to 250. I don't really see that happening.
No. It's either 3 or it's this 3 here. Well, you're going to 250 if this 3 doesn't hold, P.
Yeah, I just don't see it in the flow.
Yeah,
really.
yeah. You're on the 200 on the weekly. So I like that. That setup's been working great lately. If they're above the 200 or holding the 200, they seem to be respectful of that. I like it. It's total. Do we have a sideways week or is the flow?
Yeah.
The flow active?
pretty active. So I doubt it stays sideways.
Okay, let's keep it then. I like that previous winner. Net, we're still at 55 here.
Yeah. Earnings this week definitely gonna move large on that. Not sure which way. Kind of lean towards upside.
You said that last time. Like I thought this was a short. You thought it was a top. It definitely hit the 60. Pulled back once, I think, down to 51. But we went right back to 55. So we were in the same spot we were last week with plays that worked both ways.
Yeah, and I mean it's I just got flow to 100 if we want to look at leaps. But the shorter term stuff, 60 is strong.
Is
64
worth
like mid-November.
Worth having through ER?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it then.
Piton. I mean, it's just it's a $10 stock. It just is. I mean, I think that we could bounce around a bit, but the flow is pretty adamant about taking this to $10.
Hold on, I gotta see where we are in the video. All right, I'm writing that time down. All right. Yeah, Piton's a $10 stock, and I think these earnings are gonna be the catalyst to push it there. That's your bold position from me. It's my bold.
Yeah, and it's with the sold puts, they're gonna trap a lot of retail in this who envision taking it to 5 or something. I just don't see that happening.
And the key level for the run is still 840.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know. Perfect.
Roblox is just one of the stocks you're gonna has held up remarkably well in this environment, and not at all likely to revisit its lows.
18? That ain't happening, boss. Thought we determined that.
Yeah.
Thought we determined that one already.
Right.
40. I think 40 is your spot now if you're trying to low it.
Yeah. Nice flow to 50, 50, 55 in the next month or so. That's what I see.
Your call.
Probably go ahead and take it off for now. Just I don't know that's gonna. I'll probably have it back on next week for earnings, but I'll take it off for now.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll be screaming it when it's back to 40.
Yeah.
100%.
Rig. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think like 4 is a kind of a certainty that we at least test that, and that's enough of a move from here.
Yeah.
Might check back to 350.
Yep, and that's our level. I
Yeah.
like it.
Run is a solar play I am going to keep just because the flow on this is really strong. It's kind of beaten down still. Just has a lot of room to. I've got 25. And, 37.50 in the leaps, which makes sense as a level based on that recent run it had.
Yeah, I like this, but we need to reclaim these like 22, 23s quickly. I like it to 30 though.
Yeah.
Being key level for me.
Starbucks. Very nicely done this week.
Yeah, we nailed that. Kind of sitting in that 80. I literally said 83 to 88 channel. and it gave us all of that.
Looks like it's gonna test 90. Needs to break through that. Probably I'll take it off for now, but worth watching. They do have earnings on the 3rd.
Yeah, they got earnings this week.
So yeah, we'll see. They had a beat last time, I think.
Yeah, well, they're in that position where they're closing stores, firing people, looking more profitable.
Yeah,
And they're blaming
busting unions.
Yeah, blaming everything on crime, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
At least out here, that's what's going on. But I mean, they have the thing about out here. It's kind of hard to judge them on is because they have like, three locations in one mall. Like it's just absurd.
Yeah. All right. Let me pause this for 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right.
SPLK. Nothing special here. I'll take this off.
Perfect.
And then SPWR.
Sun Power.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I've got. Yeah, I'll go and take this one off for now. Could do well, but just not seeing enough of a push to. I was looking for 22, 24. Not seeing that just yet.
Okay. Tell.
Let's see here. Yeah, I still like it. Leaps to 350.
Earnings this week. It
So,
looks like
big gap there.
Looks like they report this week too. Yeah, the sideways chart. It's 3's the level I have. It feels like it's gonna do it in a day. It really does.
Yeah. Tup has earnings again. Oh man. I have no idea what this is gonna do, but let me see the flow.
This was
yeah, 8, 9, 13 flow coming in. Leaps to 30. Those might be those volatility plays.
30.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the $7 level. Was what I have. Nine I like. Anything else than that is a pipe dream.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they have a meme following yet or something, but they might get there. All right, so then
well, you know on this one or yes on top?
yeah.
You want to keep it? Okay, I'm kind of up in the air, but all right.
And then
use.
I like CCJ a little more just because it had sort of that kind of artificial drop on the offering.
Okay.
But the whole sector is likely to move. This 8 and 9 looks good. So I think if we break 8, we could head to 10 or 11. So I'll keep it.
Okay, I like it.
VTNR, very nice this week.
Yeah, I just had this trailing back to 880. We kind of made a little pop there. Wednesday pre-market, Thursday pre-market. Getting really close to that 880, and it is a slow trend. So if you don't have anything above that,
I've got flow to 10 across all expirations.
Okay.
So yeah, I like it.
Okay,
I'll keep it.
When it pops through 880, that's where it's gonna go then.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so yeah, that's our list. We're getting a little long, but again, it's just kind of about you don't have to try to catch them all But there's tech here, there's energy, there's Tupperware, whatever you want.
He said there's Tupperware. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Yeah, no, I mean, again, it's very familiar. Um, very familiar stuff. So, did you watch the video? I'm calling you out. Did you watch the video?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, all right. I'm telling. In the long run, try to find time because it's. I'm watching
Yes.
it. I'm watching it during the week as like
Yeah.
as refresher for myself, and I understand it's my notes, so they're going to be very beneficial to me. But
Yeah.
it's a great reminder of just where we are on things. Um, so yeah, let's just run through that real quick. Apron, I'm not even going to mess with you on that because that's more of a social play. Um,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that that would stand out. Array
Yeah.
though, go ahead.
Oh
Apron.
yeah, apron. I keep seeing it because the guy who bought at the top, and he's
Yeah,
just really desperate mat trades. But I think I think from here I do like it a lot.
yeah. I have
So
the 266 level, and that's kind of where we're throttling on the last 3 weeks. But if you look at the weekly, the candles are getting tighter to the 266 level. So I think we're going to get a pop back in from like let's say 266 to like 310, 320. If it gets picked up from there, it could move. But I'm kind of anticipating that that's going to happen like in the next 5 6 days for sure. Just seems like it is. Um, yeah, I can handle that one in notes though. Array Battery Company kind of got overextended. 16 looks really good here, but it's one of those top of the channels for me.
ARRY.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has range to like 24, 25. It's why it's appealing to me.
So I've got 11, 18, 25C. So
Yeah,
I'm
but let's put this on there. I'm sorry, I gotta make a quick note. All right. And then Build a Bear. I mean, I would assume you would have this if it was good on your side, right? Are you just not even looking at
um,
these anymore?
well, no,
Um,
I look at them when they pop into the filters I have set up.
okay,
But
okay.
sometimes like I can be a little early if I just check on them individually. But let me see.
It had it had a week last week. Our channel's
Oh
basically
wow. Yeah.
1476 to 1770, and it completed
Yeah.
that last week. We're all 3 days that it hit the high point on that 1770, 1750. I don't care what you want to call it. Um, so either we're checking back into this zone, like we're going to die back into the zone, or we're going to confirm and go into the 20s, in my opinion. Um, just the power of the move last week is why I'm curious on it.
Yeah. So it's got some push to 20, 12, 16, 20C. Um, could see that happening.
A
Interesting.
plus or
I
I mean that's where I'm at right now because we do have a lot of stuff, but
Yeah, no, probably not just because of
okay.
the move that already happened. But that, I just had a note to self to keep an eye on this. I mean, that drop on earnings, if I would have noticed that, man, that would have been good. But yeah,
Yeah, too much good stuff. Um, Klein, CLNE, we dropped back to that 624. Um, last week we confirmed that we were going to have an upper move to the sevens, and it did that. But now we're back in the same place we started the week at, pretty much. Um,
yeah, 7, 8. Let's see.
full disclosure, I have free shares.
Yeah, I've got flow to 7 and flow to 8. I do like it.
Is it tradable on the contract side?
Yes, yeah,
Let's
very
keep
much so.
let's keep this one then. See, sorry to make a note. 3 day rule. CS.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's see. So I've got flow coming in uh to 4, which isn't much of a move from here. Yeah, just not don't have the flow yet. Um, very likely to recover again though, but could dip further. Could dip to 3 from here.
Perfect, perfect. What I needed to hear. Dole. One of the stocks the professor randomly mentions to me, and 3 months later I bring it up.
Yeah.
Just like confirmation on the weekly is what I'm looking at. It had tight candles, kind of popped last week. We still have 9 is kind of the key level with plenty of range after that. Food's hot in general, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's I got February 10C, December 10C, sold puts at 7.5, which with its increments there is no 8, so you can kind of count that as 8. That's bullish too. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Okay. Dow. We're at 47.92 is my level. We rejected that. We're going to check back down. Are we going to the 54 level? Just got out of earnings. Have a dividend in a couple weeks, maybe a week.
Yeah, the calls are a little bearish on it.
Okay.
In the kind of in the like the immediate levels above, although some leaps to 60 are bullish, which is kind of interesting. Um,
Let's watch this a week, P.
yeah, yeah, it moves slow. It won't go without us.
It's like I didn't want to say it that way, but
Yeah.
Fiverr.
Yeah. Let's see. Fiverr.
Real simple 30 to 40 channel here. We confirmed that 30 last week, pretty much the whole week. So if you have flow above 35, it would be A plus for me.
Let's see. FV. What's the ticker on this?
FVRR.
Oh, RR. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
You used to love this one.
I did. Yeah. It's been a while. So yeah, I've got 40.
That's the number.
Yeah, I've got 11. Yeah, that's pretty wild. It's 11, 18, 40 C. So yeah, that's pretty good.
The UNCTA coming through, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Watch the video, dang it.
I will.
All right, GRPE. I think you were just on this I think you were early here.
Yes. Yeah.
I just think you were early. I love the way 26.5 is confirming. Pretty much I was like, it's playing the bottom half of the channel I have, which is the 31, which is your volume profiles. Aren't these guys
yeah, this is pretty bullish on all expirations here. Definitely gonna be in my sector notes. 32 is what I'm looking at. So I got 32C, 1118.
Man.
Yeah.
We gotta hot list it.
Yeah.
I'm figuring out that those are the best ones. That I know that I don't really like the chart, and then I go look at them a couple weeks later, and they're they look a lot better. And then if the thesis is still there, they look great. So I'm gonna skip Nigeria.
Okay.
Unless you have, I have it at 508, but I'm gonna just put next week. It's kind of lived there. And we've been on it, so I mean, people should know. I kind of want to get to ones we haven't been on. And this one doesn't fit that bill. Sorry. Where are you at? Oh, it's Mo on that 45. You got 50s.
Oh yeah. Let me see here.
That was another one we just flipping nailed the bottom on. It's just such a slow mover.
Yeah, it's a really good long-term stock.
Yeah.
Has a nice dividend and all that. So yeah, Flow's just kind of quiet on it. I mean, I'm just not seeing 50s picking up as much as I'd want to.
Perfect.
So it might be sideways for a bit.
News usually helps lead that to you. And then laser.
Let's see here.
I want like tens. I'm done. I mean, we made it to the 750, but we need like tens.
Don't have that yet.
Okay.
Still just sitting around eights.
Perfect. I don't know what this one is. Hold on, pull it up before. Oh, it's OEC. Edison, Ohio. Got back into the channel 1527 bottom of our channel, 1750 the top. Did a really good job reclaiming that 1527 last week. This has got to be from you.
Flow's really quiet on it, so okay. I don't have it's not A plus for me.
Oh, yeah. Weekly plug check.
Oh yeah.
16's key. 1650's key. In my opinion, this is gonna fail.
Yeah. I doesn't look great.
Okay.
Let me here. Yeah, I mean there's some push to 1750, but the 1550 put is a little more dominant right now, and even scarier puts to like 11.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is probably gonna test 10 by the end of Q1.
Yeah, I can see that.
I believe that's just a personal opinion. RETL. I'm surprised we're not on this more. It's like a retail triple leveraged
ETF. Oh yeah. Interesting. Let me see here.
I just kind of want to put it on your
decent
radar.
Flow to 9. A little bit December 10. Not a lot of volume.
Okay.
So a little kind of hard to read.
I kind of want to put it on your radar.
Yeah,
I think it'll be good in the future.
Yeah, this is beaten to hell.
Really. Any news on your baby yet? This is just a throw the jab, old root.
Oh yeah, it's been hard to read the reverse split.
Yeah,
for me. Let me see.
What do we got here? We got one more week. Earnings is not this week; it's next week. But I want to stay on it just because it's so liquid. If it does get going.
Yeah, and it's Oh, I know why it's tough to read. So it goes from 750 to 10.
Oh.
Well, actually, here's a few 9s, but yeah, the flow read on it is they're kind of like 750C and 750P are both bullish, but I'm not seeing the out of the money push that I'm looking for just yet.
Perfect. Yeah. No, I'll keep flicking the jab on that one because it'll happen eventually. Surprised this wasn't on your list because you mentioned it since.
Oh yeah, almost was. Going to be in my notes.
Okay, I'm just curious what you have. The 118's the level. 165 is kind of the top end of that. It's not the biggest channel in the whole world.
Yeah, it was a big spike in 1.5C on like anywhere from November to January. That's what got me interested. That's what I saw last time too. And usually it means that it's going to push. Those are going to go in the money, and we'll get like 90 or so.
Okay. That's a good notes one then. Shop 32 level.
Yeah, a lot of disappointed lotto people wanting puts on that.
I did not pay attention to earnings last week. I was trying to be blind to it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a push past 35, but like early in the week, I'll be looking for 37.50 to 40. We'll see if we want to continue. 32 is kind of the key number for me.
Perfect. Me
So
too.
breaking through that was pretty big.
Exactly. You? I think this is no, it's next week. 29 to 55. Huge ass channel. I kind of needed to get back into the 30s, in my opinion, or this is going to continue to fail.
Which one is this?
You?
Oh, you. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, metaverse stock that fortunately people didn't associate with Meta. So I think my kind of take on the metaverse is that it actually Meta's earnings were an indictment of how they're blowing their cash more than like the concept of the metaverse in general. Um,
Yeah, oh,
so
100%. Yeah, they spent $32 billion or something like that. It's ridiculous.
yeah, yeah, it's kind of Zuckerberg's ego. All right, so yeah, I'm not seeing enough of a push
Okay.
past 30, but this is one I do keep my eye on.
Perfect. And the last one in the notes here is MGM. 35 is the upper part of my channel. 28.35 was the channel. Um, we were 40s and 50s last year, so that's totally reachable from here.
Let's see.
Yeah, I got a ton.
Yeah, so I think it's looking good to 38.40. So that implies a break at 36, which would be good.
Let's put it on there then.
So yeah, I could see that.
Awesome. 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 No, I like that. I like that. I like how the sectors lined up on this guy this week. I think we did a really good job
Yeah, I do
there.
too.
Have you ever looked at? I got one ticker extra, just kind of in the notes. Have you ever looked at MODG?
No, I've never come across that one. Let me see.
Well, it's new, so I don't blame you. It's
Oh,
only like
yeah.
2 months old. But I
Oh,
definitely,
top golf.
yeah, I definitely want to get
Oh,
it on there.
yeah. Those are those the places with like the big net where you go
Yep.
the driving range thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Well, and they're good with location. Like where they put their stuff is like they're at the MGM Hotel in Vegas, or they're usually like downtown setting, right, where you wouldn't go golf.
Yeah, yeah. We have one in kind of the trendy
Yeah,
metro
exactly.
district here. Yeah, I mean it's got like $20. Flow to 20 is pretty straightforward. Some leaps to 25 or 35. So there's some bets that have a kind of big move there.
Get
So
going. Yeah, I just wanted to put it on your radar, because yeah, I'm back to
now,
that stuff
wait,
you use.
does this mean that Callaway had a ticker change?
No,
Is that
they
if
broke
there's?
off. I think they broke off.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think they changed the ELY. I'm pretty sure they didn't change ELY. It's ELY, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No, they just broke off that ticker. But
oh,
yeah,
cool.
I've been watching it. Just seems like a lot of people don't know about it. They do get news. Like, oh look, the ticker isn't different now and whatnot. So
Yeah,
I just like that. Yeah,
yeah, definitely something that I like sectors like that. You know, that something tangible. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'll
yeah.
keep them up.
Well, and they fit like that kind of like the entertainment that's doing good, the experience entertainment that's doing good. Definitely for me, something I would use. They just kind of fit all that. That whole narrative. The growth
Hey,
is limitless.
what what's your take on GME?
Oh, let's see. Um, I do think we're gonna squeeze in general. I do like the chart, the way it looks that we're gonna squeeze. Um, but a 10 to 20% squeeze is what I'm saying, not like a 3 to 400 or 3,000% squeeze. Um,
Right. Yeah.
but if you look at the weekly, we're definitely compressing like low 20s. You can play this thing low 20s to 30s. Right now, I think the top is that 40 mark though, which I have on the chart. That's like huge. So anything that runs, I mean, if you went to 28 to 35, I wouldn't be, back on the train is moving until we break 40.
Yeah. And right. Right. So that's sort of what I see happening is we get a little bit of a breakout past this social media level that they say is going to trigger the MOAS or whatever, and then you'll have people buying at the top and getting trapped, and then they'll bring it back down.
Yeah. Yeah, if you buy this thing from 35 to 40, I think you're making a mistake.
Right. Yeah.
If you buy it in the mid 20s, I think you're okay. And if you buy it on the 40 break, like when it breaks out of 40, I think you're okay. But playing it in that 30 to 35 zone right now just feels like you're setting yourself up for failure because you could drop down to 19, 20. You get below 20, and we could be in a different channel. So playing the
Yeah.
lower part of the
Yeah.
channel seems like a better thing to do right now.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Perfect. Got anything else? Any other ones?
Uh, no, no, that's pretty much it for me.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
Looking
Perfect.
good.
Well, as always, especially last week, appreciate your time and the work you do here. It's good stuff if you just follow our levels and notes. Um, yeah, yeah. So good stuff as always, P.
Yeah, I'll get the hot list up. I'll have some notes, and then I'll do that cross listing I was talking about. I'm brainstorming how I want that to look, but yeah, I'll have something for us.
Yeah, yeah. I'll whatever you put down, I'll run with. Um, Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Have a good day.
Yep.